This is the story of an introverted gamer, and spent most of his day locked inside his room playing a dating sim. But one day he wakes up and finds himself reincarnated into the same game, and here everything is ruled by the women. Meanwhile, our boy, who enters this world as a typical NPC, ends up becoming the ultimate Riz god. We see our boy gaming non-stop for days. Eventually, he clears the entire game and rages, "Ugh, this world sucks." But all that button smashing made him hungry, so he goes out for food only to trip on some stairs and die. Yes, the man got isekai'd by staircase. Next thing he knows, he's reborn inside the same Otome game he despised. His new name is Leon Faux Bart. 10 years fly by, and Leon realizes, wait, the Bart family? They were just background NPCs in the actual game. At first, Leon thinks he can use his knowledge of the game to take over this world. But like every New Year's resolution, his motivation slowly dies, and he settles for living the peaceful life of a side character. But the plot twist happens when Zola, a woman his father married just to save their family, enters the story. She tells Leon that she has arranged his marriage. Sounds fine, right? But no, the bride was 50 years old hag who already married 7 times, and every one of her husbands died in battle. Leon realizes she's basically farming husbands like they're disposable NPCs, and she is probably just after their survivor's pension. Leon protests, saying he wants to enroll in the academy where people search for life partners. But Zola's like, oh never, that costs too much. And if he refuses this cursed marriage, she plans to ship him straight into the military. To make things worse, in this world, no woman marries a man over 20, so Leon knows if he doesn't act fast, his future is cooked harder than noodles without water. Then he remembers that in the game, he once discovered an ancient spaceship. He thinks, if I find that, I'll get rich and can pay my way into the academy. So, he borrows his father's airship, but thanks to plot convenience, a storm, the ship gets wrecked, and when Leon wakes up, he's inside a secret high-tech lab, just like in the game. There, he finds a skeleton holding a key card, which lets him access the massive spaceship. But as he goes inside, he encounters a giant guard robot. Naturally, Leon does what every gamer does when they see a big enemy: spam all the explosives in his inventory. Magic bullets, magic grenades, he throws everything. But the robot blocks them all with its shield. Finally, Leon throws a normal grenade at the robot, which actually bypasses the shield, but the robot tanks it like it's nothing. The robot grabs him and demands, "What year is it in the new calendar?" Leon, being Lev, says, "I don't know." The robot realizes that new humans defeated the old ones using magic and took over the world. Now his mission was to defeat the new humans, starting with killing Leon. The robot pins him down and begins draining his blood. But Leon, in pure, desperate NPC energy, stabs his sword straight into its eye, destroying it, and somehow, thanks to plot armor, he survives. He then approaches the main computer and scans his hand. The system instantly registers him as the new master. To everyone's shock, well, mostly the computers, Leon carries traits of both new humans and old humans. Bro's not just an NPC anymore, he's suddenly got that rocking main character DNA. Leon decides to name the advanced computer the same as in the game, Luxon. Because hey, why use creativity when you can just copy and paste from memory? Anyway, due to his injuries, our boy passes out like Windows XP after too many taps. 3 months go by, and he still hasn't returned home. Meanwhile, at Castle, Zola's busy trash-talking Leon to the whole family, yeah, that idiot ran away instead of marrying a 50-year-old with 7 ex-husbands. He's probably dead by now as he hasn't been seen for months. But surprise, Leon pulls up with the spaceship and mountains of treasure. Bro basically rage quit real life, farmed loot like a true grinder, and came back flexing. Thanks to that, he now finally joins the academy and now lived on a private island which he discovered while on his way back to home. Also now he's a free knight with the title of Baron due to the treasure he possessed. His trusty robot sidekick tells him that the island could be turned into a tourist hotspot, specifically a hot spring resort. Leon's like, yeah, that's cool. The robot casually adds, oh, by the way, I already started construction. Man didn't even ask for permission, peak robo-confidence. So yeah, Leon now has the shiny Baron title and he received a formal letter from his academy, but is he happy? Of course not, because that means he'll be forced to marry some high-ranking woman, aka another lady, someone like Zola. Later, at the academy entrance, Leon spots Prince Julius and his group Jilk, Brad, Chris, and Greg, the main love interest of the game. Also he sees Angelica, the OG rival of the main heroine. Later at the entrance ceremony, Leon witnesses a girl slap the prince exactly like in the game. game. Except plot twist. This girl isn't even the main heroine while it was supposed to be the main heroine who slapped Prince. Bro's already watching spoilers, and the script ain't matching. Later, Raymond hosts a tea party with Leon and Daniel, hoping some girl would show up while Leon takes one look around and realizes, nah, all the girls are orbiting the prince's party instead. Pain, I mean pure NPC pain. To make it worse, the prince starts simping for Marie, the girl who slapped him earlier, and completely ignores his fiancée, Angelica. Leon was confused because in the original game, the prince was supposed to protect the heroine, not simp for Marie. Basically, the main plot is already speedrunning into chaos. Meanwhile, some mean girls bully a poor girl named Olivia because she wasn't invited to any tea party. Leon immediately recognizes her, and she was the true heroine of the game. He invites her to his own tea party. Olivia, all shy and grateful, praises his tea and cookies. Leon, you may be NPC, but you bake like a champ. She admits she wants to learn magic but doesn't understand the academy rules. Leon takes her to his sister for advice. His sister, acting like a seasoned big sis, tells Olivia to introduce herself to Angelica directly and also bring expensive snacks as a gift. But there was a major problem. Olivia was broke and she had the solution in front of her. Leon, the accidental sugar daddy, who offers to pay for it himself. Olivia finally musters courage and introduces herself to Angelica. Meanwhile, Angelica, impressed by her bravery, says she doesn't actually want to expel Olivia or be cruel. When she hears Leon was the one who gave Olivia this advice, Angelica was even more impressed. Bro accidentally rizzed both the heroine and the rival. Just our NPC boy playing wingman somehow gaining main character points. Later in the exploration class, Leon was annoyed because Daniel and Raymond, his bros, ditched him and skipped the class. The teacher assigns them a task to go into the dungeon, collect crystals, and avoid monsters. Leon, of course, was not thrilled at all. Leon decides to go into the dungeon with Olivia and sees Angelica and Marie already in a catfight. But instead of backing up his fiancée Angelica like a decent guy, the prince straight up switches teams and sides with Marie. Bro's loyalty has the lifespan of an Instagram reel. Inside the dungeon, Leon and Olivia get swarmed by monsters. Leon tries fighting them off, but more just keep coming. Just when it looks bad, the prince's squad shows up and everyone gangs up on the monsters together and defeat the monsters. But then comes the ultimate betrayal scene. The prince gets injured and Angelica rushes over to heal him like the good fiancée she is, but only for him to shove her aside and let Marie heal him instead. Man even holds Marie's hand and walks away with her, leaving Angelica standing there heartbroken. Leon was stunned because the story's already gone full modded version and none of this was supposed to happen in the game. Next day, Marie's purse mysteriously gets burned by someone. Prince Julius, running on negative IQ, instantly assumes Angelica did it out of jealousy. He tells Angelica to stop meddling between him and Marie, completely forgetting the fact that he is engaged to her. Later, Leon and Olivia were chilling in the library, and Leon casually asks, "So, what kind of girl is this Marie anyway?" Olivia misreads it totally and goes, "Oh, do you like girls like Marie?" Leon instantly denies it like someone caught him searching weird stuff at 3 a.m. Then they hear noises in the library and boom, catch Marie making out with one of the prince's close friends. Man, this girl's speedrunning the harem, ending all by herself. Afterward, Marie runs into the prince and his squad, and since she can't afford a servant, they literally offer to buy her one. Marie then drops the biggest bombshell. She's not just some random girl, she's also an isekai player enjoying the chaos and fully planning to dominate this world. So yeah, our boy ain't the only metagamer in town. Meanwhile, poor Angelica was shattered. She genuinely loved the prince, and now she has to watch him fall headfirst into Marie's reverse harem circus. Next day, Leon attends a party with his bros, hoping to score a girlfriend. Spoiler, they all get rejected. Meanwhile, Angelica fights with the prince again. She claims she saw Marie holding hands with another guy, but the prince doesn't care. Angelica, furious, throws her gloves at Marie and challenges her to a duel, the medieval sign of square up bish. The prince immediately declares himself Marie's champion. His simp levels are totally god tier, but his friends jump in, saying they will fight for Marie instead. On Angelica's side, no one steps forward. Classic anime's everyone betrays you moment. Then Leon, our reluctant hero slash NPC with attitude, steps up, because he knows that if Angelica loses this duel, she'll be forced to marry some creepy rural lord and her life will be ruined. Basically, our boy's like, fine, I'll do it, not for honor, not for love, but because I hate those arrogant jerks. The duel stakes are set. If Leon wins, the prince must stay away from Marie. And if Marie's team wins, Angelica must never interfere with the prince again. Leon also sets the twist that the duel will be fought using armored mechas. Everyone laughs, expecting him to need a whole squad. Leon just smirks and says, "Nah, I'm enough by myself." Bro's confidence is bigger than his actual luck stat. Angelica begs Leon to back out, not wanting him to get hurt for her sake. But Leon reassures her that he's got this and repeats he's not fighting for favors from her father. He's fighting because he can't stand arrogant clowns. Basically, he just unlocked his "I fight for petty revenge" arc. In the arena, 5 opponents show up with their flashy armored mechas, all shiny and intimidating. Leon strolls in with his mecha, chunky, clunky, and shaped like a fridge on legs. The crowd also bursts out laughing. Olivia, confused, asks why everyone's laughing, and Angelica explains, "That's probably a lost artifact, a tech so old it can't be replicated today," which is fancy talk for, yeah, it's rare, but don't expect it to actually be good. Basically, Leon pulled up to a Formula 1 race in a rusty tractor. Inside, Leon asks Luxion for blade number 1 from his backpack. Luxion, either trolling or Leon being a total clown, hands him a shovel. Leon suddenly remembers he never swapped it out after digging holes last time. Instead of panicking, he shrugs and decides, guess I'll just fight with the shovel. The fight begins and his first opponent leaps at him and Leon casually deletes him in one strike with his discount gardening tool. The crowd was shocked. Next up was Greg. He tries to cope by saying Leon's first win was just because of the mech's durability. They start fighting, but Leon breaks his weapon and slams his mecha into scrap metal. Greg crawls out, insisting that he'll fight till his last breath. Leon roasts him, saying he doesn't like bullying weaklings. This from the guy who just WWE slammed him with a shovel. Third match was Chris. He comes in hot, strikes first, and Leon plays defensive before countering with drones. Chris leaps with his sword, but Leon breaks that too and wins again. Chris breaks down, crying about all the training he did. Leon tells him to go cry to Marie about it. Maybe she'll pity him. Spoiler, she won't. Before the next fight, Leon steps out for a break, and when he returns, Luxion informs him that his sister, tricked by Jill, planted explosives on Leon's mecha. Imagine being betrayed by your own sister. Bro can't catch a break. Jill's fight starts and he uses a smoke screen, takes to the skies, and tries to attack, but Leon's armor tanks it easily. Jill activates the planted explosives, but nothing happens. Leon then takes flight himself with shovel in hand, ready for takeoff, but Jill threatens Leon's family, claiming his noble days are over. Leon flips it back. Actually, your noble days are over. I've got proof you planted bombs and threatened my family. If the prince hears this, you're toast. Then Leon finishes him with, you guessed it right, the shovel, and Jill was out. Marie was now panicking because her grand schemes keep getting wrecked by, of all people, a so-called background NPC character. Prince tries to reassure her, boasting that his armor is the kingdom's finest technology, and the audience, naturally, cheers for him. Right before the duel, Leon straight up asks the prince what he thinks of Olivia. Prince says he's never even talked to her, so he's got no opinion. Leon side-eyes this level of NPC ignorance. The referee blows the whistle, and the arena erupts with chants of the prince's name. Everyone believes the prince's mecha is unbeatable. However, Leon, unfazed, opens with an aggressive strike. The prince blocks it with his shield and counters right away. Leon, impressed, admits the prince is way better than the previous 4 clown. Mid-fight, Prince Julius shouts that he's fighting for his true love, Marie. Meanwhile, Leon deliberately takes on the role of the villain, fighting not just to win, but to hammer the lesson into him that Marie is a manipulative snake, and by chaining himself to her, he's basically speedrunning his own downfall. The fight between Leon and Prince Julius ended faster than anyone expected. One moment the prince was declaring his eternal love for Mary like some tragic K-drama hero, and the next, Luxion casually blasted his armor apart in a single strike. Leon Bartford had won. Julius laid there defeated, but instead of losing only a battle, he managed to shatter Angelica's heart too. When she approached him afterward, he didn't just reject her, he went full savage mode, telling her she never even knew what love was. Angelica, who had carried herself with dignity until now, finally broke down in tears, while Leon just stood there like, wow, my shovel caused all this? Leon himself was dragged in for questioning, but with a few polite words of gratitude toward the kingdom, he wriggled out of the death penalty. Nobody realized that beneath all his fake loyalty, his true motives was just personal grudge and a shameless quest for wives. Man's basically playing the game on easy mode while everyone else is fighting for survival. Sometime later, Angelica visited the Bartford family estate. It wasn't just a mansion, it was a literal floating island with fertile lands, like Leon had somehow unlocked Minecraft creative mode for free in real life. But peace never lasts. Zola, the eternal source of family drama, accused Leon of causing chaos in the royal capital. Still, Leon, Olivia, and Angelica tried to find some peace of their own. They toured the farmlands together and even even relaxed in the hot springs. The vibe was calm until Olivia admitted something quite serious, as she was worried that Leon might actually be falling for Angelica. Then she softened the atmosphere by asking him to call her Livia, just like her family used to. The princess also chimed in, telling Leon he could call her Angie. Poor Leon, standing there like, bro, how do I handle two nickname buffs at once? Later, Leon gave Angelica advice in the most NPC way possible. While she was drowning in guilt and self-blame, he told her the best revenge wasn't plotting anything complicated, it was simply being happy. That's either the most profound wisdom ever or the laziest revenge guidebook in history. Still, the thought struck Angelica deeply, and for the first time, she began to see hope again. On the farm, away from the suffocating politics of school and the royal court, Leon, Angelica, and Olivia built a new kind of bond. Meanwhile, the prince who had thrown everything away for Mary was stripped of his title, and Mary's mask finally slipped. Her sorrow wasn't about lost love, it was about losing the palace luxuries she thought she had secured forever. No more royal banquets, no fancy dresses, no spa day funded by taxpayers. The princess life she dreamed of was gone, and Mary was left sulking like someone whose Amazon Prime subscription had expired. Leon, on the other hand, was promoted again, and this time to the upper 6th level because the kingdom decided his loyalty deserved a reward. They had no idea their golden boy was secretly just vibing through the game life with a shovel. Meanwhile, back at the academy, Leon finally got to attend his first school festival. But instead of a normal celebration, it turned into a culinary war. Two cafes rose as rivals. On one side was Mary's group along with Julius and his friends, which looked less like a cafe and more like a shady bar, with overpriced food that screamed, "Scam alert." On the other side stood Leon and his friends Angelica and Olivia. The festival had begun, and Leon, once again, found himself watching drama unfold like some tired gamer forced into another side quest. The Academy Festival quickly turned into less of a food fair and more of a who can flex the hardest cafe showdown. Every group was serving their best teas and sweets like it was MasterChef but Nobility Edition. And of course, Leon couldn't just sit quietly. Nope, our boy had to stir the pot. Playing the role of Mary's designated villain, he messed with the mood on purpose, even jokingly proposing marriage to the queen in front of everyone. Talk about side character energy turning into main character chaos. The festival was supposed to be wholesome, but thanks to Leon's trolling, it felt more like a royal roast session. Surprisingly, the queen didn't hate it. In fact, she was charmed by the freedom and joy of the festival. Having missed out on such fun in her own youth, she wanted to experience a slice of normal academy life for once. Through the laughter, disasters, and sugar rush, the festival became more than just a whose cafe is better contest. And as always, the spotlight reluctantly swung back to Leon. This tech geek with a gambling addiction had somehow become the center of all as he used Luxian's prediction program to earn huge fortune by betting on races. After the festival chaos, the story zoomed straight into the next big event, the legendary Academy's final bike race. At first, Leon wasn't even interested in competing. Classic him, he preferred gambling on who would win rather than actually racing himself. But when Mary manipulated him to take Jilk's place in race, he agreed because Jilk's ex-fiancée injured him while dumping him when Leon defeated him earlier. Saying all this, Marie was able to manipulate Leon into becoming Jilk's substitute by pointing out Angelica will be shamed if he refuses. He just couldn't say no. If he refused, it would ruin Angelica's reputation as a mediator, so Leon was basically guilt-trapped into becoming her knight on two wheels. Congrats Leon, you went from shovel knight to biker boy in one episode. The hype around the race was insane. Everyone in the academy was buzzing about it. Leon found himself against some real threats, including crowd favorite Dan F. Elgar. As the race heated up, old rivalries resurfaced and all other racers formed alliances mid-track to sabotage Leon's race as they all got bankrupted due to Leon's betting in earlier races. Dodging sabotage, outsmarting his rivals, and riding with pure stubbornness, he shocked everyone by taking first place. The crowd was stunned once again. The so-called NPC character had clowned all the elites and won where he was never supposed to. Leon's big bike race win might have shocked the academy, but the aftertaste wasn't all sweet. Just as he finishes the race, his bike explodes, but Dan saves him from falling to his death since they both hated Jilk. Still, rumors spread like wildfire that he only won because he played it safe, basically calling him a coward. For once, our shovel knight wasn't being roasted by us, but by half the student body. And yet, instead of clapping back with more trolling, Leon showed a rare side of himself. He actually apologized to people he'd hurt along the way, proving that under all the sarcasm and pettiness, he cared about fairness and honor. Afterwards, Leon forces Jilk to give Clarice the apology she deserves, surprising her that Leon has a kind heart behind his evil personality. The man might act like a clown, but deep down, he's got some solid knightly values. Meanwhile, Livia suddenly started acting bolder and more outspoken, shocking both Leon and Angelica. It was like shy background girl suddenly pressed the main heroine button. This shift hinted hinted that the dynamic between the three of them was about to change in a big way. After the race drama ended, the focus shifted back to Olivia, who now found herself caught between noble politics and the rising threat of Sky Pirate. Despite the pressure, she struggled to stay true to herself. Her friendship with Angelica, a noble lady trapped in the same system, came under strain from the constant weight of status and expectation. Things escalated when the scheming daughter of a count, jealous of Olivia's growing reputation, plotted against her by hiring Sky Pirates to ruin her name. Angelica stepped in, asking Leon to help, and though he normally tried to mind his own business, he joined forces with her. Together, they made an unlikely but fierce team, including Brad and Greg. As the fight dragged on, Leon, usually the type to only care about himself, began worrying about Olivia's safety. It was a small crack in his sarcastic armor, hinting at feelings he didn't fully understand. But Olivia wasn't blind to how she was being treated. One night, in tears, she confessed that Leon and Angelica that sometimes they indeed treated her like a pet, not a real equal. Leon, uncomfortable with this, vented this on Luxion and asked if what he was doing is correct. Of course, the AI wasn't about to sugarcoat things. He flat out told Leon that it was his fault Olivia couldn't grow properly. Leon tried to defend himself, claiming he'd helped her plenty, but Luxion wasn't buying it. In a rare burst of anger, Leon actually punched the poor robot. Imagine being so salty you try to box with Siri. Elsewhere, Brad, the prince's friend, was practicing swordsmanship non-stop, convinced he could one day surpass Leon. Leon, in his usual blunt way, told him to drop the sword and focus on magic instead. But Brad was stubborn, insisting Leon wasn't actually strong, just flashy. Their argument spiraled, and of course, like every anime beef ever, it ended in a duel, Brad versus Leon. Despite Brad's fire, Leon crushed him and walked away with another W. Brad, bruised but not broken, swore he'd beat him next time. Meanwhile, Mary and her ever-loyal servant Kyle were sneaking into dangerous dungeons to find treasures to impress the so-called protagonist squad. On the other side, Julius and Jilk were desperate to escape their falling reputations and even tried to plan an escape from the palace, only to be firmly shut down by the queen herself. Turns out, running away from your problems isn't an option when you're royal property. Later, on the skyship during lunchtime, Leon, Brad, and Greg were just chatting about their recent run-in with Sky Pirate. But because Leon's life is basically cursed, the pirates actually attack mid-meal. Brad and Greg immediately rush to help, proving that the Prince Squad can occasionally do more than flexing their family names. Meanwhile, Livia was still replaying that emotional moment when she told Leon how she felt like a pet. Just as she was drowning in guilt, she hears the commotion outside. She tries to run to the deck, but two worker bots stop her. Big mistake as Livia raises her voice, and suddenly the bots are like, "Yes, ma'am," and let her through. Girl just unlocked her angry mom voice perk. On deck, a pirate in full armor charged at her, but only for Brad to jump in and save her like some knight out of a fairy tale. Brad gets wrecked almost immediately. So much for fairy tales. Leon dives into the fight too, but catching pirates alive turns out to be harder than it sounds. Luxion calmly drops the bomb that the pirate leader is also here, because of course Leon can't ever have a normal encounter. Greg and Brad do their best to protect Livia, while Leon grabs an axe and challenges the pirate boss. Somehow, despite the chaos, he comes out on top and walks away with a holy necklace as loot. Brad's hand was badly hurt, but Livia heals it, leaving Brad wide-eyed like, wait, she has support skills too? Leon, meanwhile, just tells Greg to haul Brad inside. Later, Livia shyly admits that she wishes Leon would just call her Livia instead of formal names. Back in his room, Leon sorts through the pirate loot and finds some shady paperwork that linked the Sky Pirates to Stephanie. Not long after, they spot a Redgrave ship nearby. To make things spicier, word spreads that Brad and Greg are being credited as the pirate slayers, and they'll even get the prize money. Leon, instead of being salty, tells their families to reconsider disowning them. While chatting with Luxion, Leon admits that he just wants to fade back into being a background character. Unfortunately, on other side, Brad and Greg were hyping him up for promotions instead. Then Bernard thanks Leon for helping Clarice and rewards him with a brand new airbike too. Then Leon learns that he'll officially get promoted after graduation and immediately panics like he's been handed extra homework. Outside the academy, Leon and Luxion saw the new airbike named Schwartz, meaning sword. Leon immediately gets obsessed with it, while Luxion was already planning modifications like some overbearing car mechanic. Afterwards, Raymond and Daniel try to cheer up Leon, but he was spiraling, thinking maybe his new status means he'll be forced into marriage. To distract himself, Leon focuses on the upcoming school trip. He picks the southern island, not for fun, but to snag a rare item. Meanwhile, Brad and Daniel, of course, are like, bro, maybe you should just use the trip to patch things up with Angelica and Livia instead. On the fancy cruise ship headed south, Leon Leon spots Angelica, Livia, and another girl named Deirdre, who spends half her time flexing about herself. Meanwhile, Chris also shows up to troll Leon, surrounded by his fangirls. Leon secretly wishes Chris would just simp for Livia and leave him alone. When the ship finally reaches its destination, Livia wanders off feeling lonely, only to run into Leon and Angelica at a shrine. They pray together, and Leon being secretly wholesome wishes for both girls to find good partners. Smooth move, third-wheeling yourself takes talent. The shrine maiden gives them charms. Livia gets a blue one, Angelica a red one, and Leon lucky as ever receives a battle charm that boosts his fighting power. The maiden thinks they prayed for friendship, but notices all three look oddly gloomy. The next day, when the ship leaves, Luxion explains that Leon's charm is connected to a holy bracelet hidden in a dungeon. Mary shows up too, and Leon hopes she won't make things worse by picking a fight. But across the sky, we see a mysterious red-eyed woman declares that the time has come, because of course another boss battle is loading. Before Leon can even relax, Chris challenges him to a sword fight. They're barely halfway through discussing their skills when alarms blare and sky monsters suddenly swarm the area and the ship. Leon realizes that they're from Thanos. To make matters worse, a massive monster ship just like Thanos' mothership arrives, and both Livia and Angelica arrive on the deck. Angie immediately recognizes the red-eyed woman as she is Princess Hertrude Serapos of Thanos. Hertrude announces to everyone on the ship that the Thanos kingdom has declared war on Halfert and that all aboard must surrender. Angie gets deeply distressed, and Leon wonders where he went wrong as this war was supposed to happen at the very end of the game. At the same time, a man named Garrett from Thanos addresses everyone. He states that those holding titles like Baron will be taken hostage, but the rest will not. Meanwhile, Angie wanted only herself to be a hostage, and when Leon and Olivia tried to protect her, Garrett orders other students to beat Leon for his insolence. Angie pleads with Garrett to stop them, but he refuses. Leon tries to intervene but is knocked unconscious by another student. Meanwhile, Angie discusses war plans and terms with her Hertrude, while Leon and Livia were trapped on the ship, feeling guilty for not being able to help her. Meanwhile, Chris receives an order from Halfert Kingdom that he must delay Hertrude at any cost. He announces that Angelica is the only hostage and that the others might soon perish and asks Leon for help, but Leon refuses, reasoning that no one helped Angie before. Chris tries to leave, but Leon stops him, insisting he will only help when everyone works together. Later, Chris instructs his classmates to fight, but they refuse. Leon arrives with Livia and fires into the air, urging everyone to help, calling them useless nobles, which irritates Deirdre. Leon argues that these noble students care only about their family's success, igniting anger among the students, and surprisingly, Deirdre starts admiring Leon. Leon, Chris, and Livia make their way to the enemy ship. Meanwhile, it is revealed that Hertrude plays music on her flute to control the monsters and instantly attacked Leon as soon as he left the ship. Meanwhile, Luxon informs them that Angie is on the enemy ship and Hertrude possesses a flute which controlled the monsters. They break through the monster lines and reach the enemy vessel. Meanwhile, Chris was truly impressed by Leon and wondered if he will ever become as skilled a warrior as Leon. Deirdre instructs the students to create a magical shield, while Livia assists with healing. The enemy ship keeps attacking, and suddenly Livia creates a shield and attacks the monsters with magic. For once, the nobles actually owe their lives to the commoner girl they've always looked down on. Karma hits harder than Leon's bullets, huh? Meanwhile, Leon does what Leon does best, reckless hero mode. He infiltrates Hertrude's ship. Garrett calls Leon a fool, but Leon defeats the soldiers and knocks Garrett unconscious. He points his gun at Hertrude, demanding her surrender. Hertrude was impressed by him and asks his name, but Luxion reveals that the flute she gave was fake and that the real one is with the maid, and Leon instantly shoots her. Luxion even shaves Garrett's mustache for revenge, and Leon then escapes with Hertrude, Angie, and the flute on his bike. Later, Garrett prepares for an attack from another ship and called upon his major secret weapon, the Black Knight Vandal. This dude is basically the Dark Souls boss of mecha pilots. Meanwhile, Livia was exhausted from overuse of mana. Garrett declares that Hertrude will sacrifice herself, and the monsters starts attacking again. Leon goes out to fight, and Angie, worried, activates her charm, shooting fire spears to assist Leon. Meanwhile, Livia was depressed and feels like she's holding everyone back, but Angie praises her greatly and Livia breaks down in tears just as they hug each other with those huge plots. Suddenly, an enemy strike sends Angie off the ship, but Livia saves her, and just then another attack knocks her down this time. But now Leon rescues her, and Livia felt sad that he calls her Olivia, but when he finally uses her nickname, she becomes happy. On the deck, Livia and Angie embrace each other while Leon watches. Just then Leon's ship partner arrives and attacks the enemy ships. Leon's armor, arrogance, activates, and he tells Chris that now he will fight the enemies. The Black Knight Vandal arrives and fights Leon head-on with his mecha. Leon narrowly survives, and the fight turns into hand-to-hand combat. Eventually, Thankfully, Leon does not kill Vandal but captures him. After everything failed, Garrett now sends even more monsters, but Luxion easily stops them. Later, Garrett also surrenders, but Leon declares that winners deserve rewards and refuses to negotiate, forcing Vandal and Garrett to retire in shame. After the dust settles, political drama kicks in. Leon, now officially the Academy's MVP, gets challenged again by Greg, one of Julius' ex-harem boys. Problem was, Greg's armor was faulty as he combined all the parts of mechas which were defeated earlier and made a new one. Leon knows it and even warns him, but Greg was too prideful to listen. The duel was fierce but one-sided. Leon finally had to destroy Greg's armor to save his life, which ironically also means Leon win. It's a hollow victory. The whole thing just shows how broken pride and nobility are in this messed up world. Finally, Leon forces Chris to take credit for the victory to be reinstated as his family's heir. And just when Leon thinks he can chill, the Viscount title drops on him like a tax bill. Suddenly, he's a hero with responsibilities, exactly the thing he never wanted. Congrats, Leon, you played yourself. Later, Livia and Angie discuss his love life. They talk about Leon, their feelings, and his ridiculous ability to stumble into everyone's hearts despite being a walking insult machine. Leon himself starts realizing he actually cares for both of them. But before things can get too wholesome, Luxion drops the ultimate troll, comparing Leon to Marie. And Leon instantly gets mad. Truly the perfect ending. Hero of the war, savior of the Academy, official Viscount, but still roasted by his own AI sidekick. And realizing that he is in love with both of them. And that's how Season 1 of Trapped in a Dating Sim ends, with Leon stronger, more respected, and more frustrated than ever.